Personnel. The personnel page contains all the information linked to staff using the application. Note: see Republic of South Africa POPIA Act. Any person required to book time on a task card must be registered in the personnel database. Admin users must be registered on the system even if they may never book time on a task card. This is done to maintain an audit trail for all admin tasks in the application. Task labor values are based on the cost and selling rate defined in the personnel page. Cost is normally calculated by using the direct salary cost plus direct associated costs. This includes leave, insurances, admin costs, etc. The labor cost is dependent on the client's labor costing procedure. This cost is for budgeting and profit margin checking and has no effect on any selling price in the application. Selling rate is calculated as the rate at which the labor is sold to the client. See the timesheet section for more information on the calculation formulas and options for divisional labor selling rates. Authorization levels are defined on the personnel page. Admin staff. It is recommended that admin staff rates are also recorded to allow the booking of labor time. This has the advantage that management may get a full picture of staff costs. It also gives the opportunity to record all leave in a single place. Leave. AMS includes the functionality to calculate leave credit, based on actual leave taken. To use the leave function properly, a starting leave credit must be provided. This is done for normal leave and sick leave. The credit is linked to a specific date which will be used as base for all future calculation. Ensure that the leave days are correct for each staff member and that the leave cycles are defined in the parameters file. Leave and sick leave calculation. Leave is calculated from the date provided using the cycle and then adding the credit. Leave actually taken is then deducted. Normal leave is specified per year and sick leave is specified per sick leave cycle period. The default is set in system parameters, but defaults to 3 years. The default normal leave and sick leave per cycle is also specified in system parameters. Leave management. Leave is calculated based on the default parameters configured in the System Parameters page in the Timesheet tab. Additional parameters overriding the defaults can be specified in the Labor Personnel page. Leave calculation is only available for non-contract workers that are currently employed. The leave calculation is done from the credit date, which is normally equal to the employment date. The leave days credit associated with the credit date is normally 0. The annual number of days are then proportionally allocated from the credit date to the last time sheet on record. The default number of leave days are defined in the system parameters, but can be changed for a specific person in the personnel page. Once the current leave days are calculated, leave taken in the period is deducted from the available days. This can be extracted from the time sheets captured against the person. In the event of a person having existing leave, not captured in AMS, this can be recorded as a credit at the take-on. In this case, calculations will start at the credit date, using the opening balance. The leave credit setting can also be used when the number of leave days allocated to a person changes. In this case, the credit at the date of the change will be allocated. Sick leave is calculated in a similar manner, but the sick leave days can be allocated over a period other than 12 months. The default allocation for sick leave is 36 months. This can be altered in the System Parameters page. Note: when leave system defaults for sick leave cycles are altered, all calculations will apply the new parameters historically to all employed staff. If this is not relevant, credit will have to be captured for all active employees to maintain the history. Divisions. The selling adjustment will be implemented through a timesheet type that has been set up. This way the labor will be multiplied by the factor entered on the timesheet type. Personnel record the time spent on tasks on an AMO default timesheet or the AMS task card so as to accumulate labor hours for billing purposes. Various options are available to manage the cost and selling of staff. Timesheet types. All timesheet entries must be linked to one of the standard timesheet types. This will determine how the time allocated is processed and if it is linked to a task card. The timesheet type contains all the basic rules. Additional types can be added. The default system types cannot be edited. The system allows for normal work pack task timesheet entries. Labor linked to work pack tasks will be used to determine the cost as well as the selling value. In the event of task time adjustments needing to be made, this is done by loading an adjustment. This type will allow selling prices of a task card to be increased or decreased without affecting the actual hours allocated. As this type is only used for selling adjustment, it will not result in a change of the task cost price. Each timesheet type has the following configuration options. Paid factor allows users to enter a factor in calculating the cost of personnel. The default is 1. Sell factor allows the users to enter a factor calculating the selling price of personnel. The default is 1. Normal hours will allow normal hours to be booked against the timesheet type. Rate 2 hours will allow rate 2 hours to be booked against the timesheet type. Rate 3 hours will allow rate 3 hours to be booked against the timesheet type. Is work pack. When set to true, timesheets booked against this type will require a work pack task card link.